Alan Hagie of Hagie Manufacturing joins us here on Real Agriculture. Third generation in the Hagie family, Alan?
Yep, absolutely. My grandfather started the company 69 years ago.
So Hagie and John Deere have recently formed a joint venture. How did this come about, and what's the story behind this partnership with Deere?
So what happened is Hagie was in a pretty good growth mode as far as the products were really becoming in demand because of the real desire to get out there and apply fertilizers and like fungicides and things like that later in the crop's maturity. So our machines we've always built machines that were taller and able to get out in the crop later, and it really aligned with the market. So the market softened. The commodity prices dropped and margins got a lot tighter on the farm. So people were looking for ways of boosting their yields, cutting their production costs, whatever it would take to become more profitable on the farm. And our machines really aligned well with that because we could get out there, we could do the split applied nitrogen, which would give you more yield. You could reduce the amount of fertilizer you were putting down because you were putting it down when the crop needed it. And you can make decisions based on what the weather had done versus putting down fertilizer all early, and then and now you can make decisions later in the season and put down the right amount of nitrogen. And then the fungicide application, our machines versus airplanes, or just doing the fungicide application period, ground driven made a lot more sense in the current environment of the ag environment. So we aligned pretty well with the market. We were a factory direct company and struggling with our growth as far as getting to the customers that needed our products, because trying to grow that factory direct model became a little bit challenging for us, and just in the speed that we needed to do it. So John Deere approached us. We had an opportunity to go into their dealer network, and so that their dealer network could sell and support our machines. So it was an exciting opportunity for us, and we looked at it going, you know what, this makes a lot of sense for us to do, and the joint venture, it happened. So Deere took an equity stake in our company just to make sure that the industry knew that they were serious about full season application and that we were going to be a part of John Deere's portfolio for a long, long time.
So what happens with the Hagie brand and the integration? John Deere obviously has their high clearance sprayers as well. How do we see things move forward?
Yeah, so as far as the integration goes, the plan is to keep the Hagie brand and the Hagie colors on our machines. We're still going to be building them in Clarion, Iowa. And this is the first time in the history of John Deere, in 179-year history, that they put another brand into their dealerships, self-propelled brand into their dealerships. And we're both excited, very excited about that. And as far as their application equipment goes, we look at them, they're different. We were a company that always had to do things different than our competitors. We couldn't look at our competitors when John Deere was a competitor. We weren't really looking at them and that closely and trying to mimic them. We were trying to play our own game and solve our own problems that we saw in the industry. So the machines are distinctively different, and we intend to keep them that way. So that's the plan.
Okay. What do you see then, just as a final question, Alan, where do you see spraying moving in terms of trends and the future of precision application?
I think the word precision really aligns well with, I think, where it's going. We've got to become better at managing those crop fields more by the acre, or even probably less than the acre, and how we apply. It's more intense management, I think. And that's where our, these types of machines come, really go into that intense management world well, because you can really dial in and figure out what does that crop need and when it needs it, and be able to get out there and make those applications when it needs to happen versus when the machine can accommodate it. So okay. I think that's where it's going.
Are all John Deere dealers Hagie dealers now as well?
We're in that integration right now. Most of it comes down to being able to support. If the dealer can support the product, they can sell the product. And so the intentions are to be, by the end of the year, that will, the dealers that want to sell this product will be capable of selling that product. Most are today.
All right. Thanks for your time, Alan.
Okay, thank you very much.